the Healite phototherapy system, delivering the true science of light-emitting diode low-level light therapy. So, let me introduce you to Healite. As you can see, it's a well-designed, clean system that will fit into any treatment room, clinic, or hospital. It has a very solid base with lockable casters, so the system will stay where it's put when it's put. The central column contains all the electronics and the control center, and on top we have this plinth. The plinth incorporates the moving handle with which you can move the system around. It also holds the articulated arm firmly and steadily. And here we have conveniently mounted the on-off switch and also the graphic user interface, GUI, or touch screen control. The articulated arm is counterweight sprung so that the joints are place and stay hinges. This means that you can take the system and you can move it and let go, and it stays where you put it without needing any locking nuts or locking clamps. At the end of the articulated arm, we have the treatment head. The treatment head has these 5 adjustable panels which are also place and stay hinges so that they can be adjusted to fit the contour of the patient's body. If you're treating an arm, for example, or if you're treating the face, or if you're going to be treating the back or the décolleté, you can flatten the arm out. When the LEDs are in operation, they generate light, and as they generate light, they heat up, and so do the circuit boards holding the LEDs. If LEDs get too warm, then the wavelength will change, and we don't want that. So there are cooling fans located in the heads that pull air up through to keep the light-emitting diodes cool. Changing the head is very easy. Once you have placed the arm in this closed position, the first thing to do is to disconnect this cable from the back of the head. Then you undo these 2 knurled nuts, which, as you can see, are spring-loaded so that they cannot escape and they are captive. Then you hold the head firmly, and you can see that at the moment, even though we have disconnected the nuts, the head is still firmly connected to the body by its weight. Turn the head 1/8 of a turn clockwise, and the head drops free. It's not heavy, but it's not light, so be prepared to take the weight of the head. The majority of the cost of Healite is in the technology in the head, so please don't drop it on the floor. Replacing the head, we just retrace the steps that we took to remove the head. So you can see that there are keys in the head, and they match these keys here on the arm. So you offer up the head to the arm and then turn 1/8 of a turn, and the head is once again firmly fixed. Then you push down on the screws and screw them home. Finger tight, you don't need to over tighten them. And then replace the connector in the back, and we're ready to go with the new wavelengths. We turn Healite on and off with this switch here. When we turn Healite on, the GUI lights up, and after a few seconds, it displays all the information that you need to set the system up. When everything finally comes up and the screen lights up, you can see that on the left, we have the wavelength. You can see the system starts in standby mode by default. Standby is displayed here. The dose in joules per square centimetre is displayed here, and you change the dose up or down using the arrows on either side to get the dose that you want. Above the dose you will see a timer, and that tells you how long the system will run to deliver that particular dose. The next thing that we can set is the intensity or the power level, and that's set from this little control here on the right, and it goes from 1, which is minimum, up to 4, which is maximum. Before starting treatment, it's important to set up the head at the right distance from the target tissue. This should be between 17 and 20 centimeters. That's the optimum distance to get the best effect from the LEDs. Then the other thing we have to do is to adjust these panels so that they are facing the contour of the face. There we go. Very nice. Now we're delivering equal light to all parts of the face, even though it's a curved area. So as you see, the yellow, the 590, is scanning panel by panel. And during this first 1 minute, the target is only the epidermis, and in particular, the cells that keep the epidermis healthy. Then when the 830 nanometer wavelength kicks in, you won't be able to see it because it's infrared and invisible to the human eye. But when that wavelength comes in, then it deals with all the cells in the deep dermis, and that's good for photorejuvenation, it's for pain attenuation, for wound healing, and wounds of all types. Healite needs very, very little in the way of care and maintenance. In these times of COVID-19, you can wipe down the body of the system and the top of the head using a dilute antiseptic or antibiotic, and in non-COVID times you can use a dilute detergent. Make sure that you don't over-soak the system, and always turn the system off when you're cleaning it. As far as the OLAT panels are concerned, you can wipe them down with an alcohol swab, and that will keep them completely clean and germ-free. When you move the system from any treatment room to another treatment room, always unplug the system from the wall and from the system itself, and always use the handle when you move the system. Do not move the system using the handles on the panels or using the articulated arm. That's it. Thank you very much indeed for watching.